There are many things in our world that people dream of having, and it's certainly a great thing to have those dreams. Many would dream of having a high-paying job, a luxury yacht, a sports car, or even financial freedom. They want to live in a nice house where they can decorate it however they want, or even have a large family. And then there are the gearheads. The people who want the best out of luxury cars possible, and there are many brands for them to choose from. Rolls-Royce is easily one of the best luxury car brands in the world, and over the years they've made a long list of epic cars for people to own. But have you seen everything that they have to offer? Here now are 20 luxury Rolls-Royce cars that you must see. Number 20. Rolls-Royce Dawn Silver Bullet. We begin with the Rolls-Royce Dawn Silver Bullet. This luxury vehicle was an offshoot of their Dawn line of cars, which were meant to be oceanside cruisers. They made the Silver Bullet variant to be for those who wanted a more personal ride and driving experience. The original Dawn was able to sit up to 4 people, but the Silver Bullet only seats 2, and that's fine because it is a beautiful car for you and your significant other to have a great time in, driving around, soaking up the sights, and knowing that other people around you don't have the car that you have. That may sound mean at first, but I'm being serious here. Rolls-Royce only manufactured about 50 of the Silver Bullet, so if you are one that owns this vehicle, consider yourself to be rather lucky. Being that this is Rolls-Royce, everything about the car is luxurious. Even if you just look at the inside of it, you're going to see what I mean. Everything is of the highest quality, and it was people and not machines who put it all in there. Equally as important is the detail that this is the first collection car that Rolls-Royce ever made within this decade, as it came out in the year 2020. They're meant to be a tribute to the cars of the past, and when you see the videos of this car cruising down the road with the driver not having a care in the world, well, you can't help but wish that you were behind the wheel. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Now it's time for the fancy topic. Have a look at this photo and try not to make your jaw drop to the floor. While there's obviously some clear signs that this is a fake photo of an equally fake car, I do have to admit some things right off the bat. Mainly, while it appears to be a diamond-encrusted beast of a car, it's actually one that is not really out of the realm of possibility. The story that comes with this image is that this Rolls-Royce was built for an unknown man in the 1950s. And given that this time period was a great boom for people in the UK and the United States due to businesses receiving a great post-war boost, it is possible that somebody may have wanted a car to put all the others to shame, and that's when they asked Rolls-Royce to make this custom ride for them. And for the record, Rolls-Royce did begin in 1906, so by the year that this story is said to have happened, they had already made a name for themselves. The reason why I'm pointing out that the concept of this car is not fake is because people have actually seen something like this in the past. If you look up Diamond Rolls-Royce, you would see various versions of such a ride popping up all over the place, from Saudi princes to celebrities who decided to get an upgrade, and it's all a little bit over the top. But when has that ever stopped anyone who had money in the past? The real downside to having such a vehicle is that it's an instant target for thieves, and maintaining it likely is not as easy as you would believe thanks to the diamond exterior. Now, I don't know if the one from the picture is actually real, but as you can see, it is plausible in the end. As always, you can comment down below using the hashtag #FancyTopic and let me know what you think about what you just saw on the screen. Number 19. Rolls-Royce Spectre. If that sounds familiar, it's because yes, Spectre is an evil organization that James Bond fought in both versions of his timeline. And Rolls-Royce is nothing if not loyal to its roots, as they have supplied James Bond with a few cars over the years. The reason that you need to see the Rolls-Royce Spectre is because this is the first fully electric luxury vehicle that Rolls-Royce ever made and shipped, and in fact, as of right now, you should be able to get one for yourself. The car had its release date in the final quarter of 2023, So, how does it stack up? In terms of range, it can get about 425 kilometers on a single charge, and it's meant to be the most aerodynamic ride that Rolls-Royce ever produced, which is saying something, given all of the vehicles that they've come up with in the past. If you go to the Rolls-Royce website, you're going to find that the Rolls-Royce Spectre is a prophecy fulfilled, likely referring to how the brand kept on saying that they were going to do an electric vehicle, but took time in making one that would fit into their own brand. So there it is, and it is indeed a stylish ride. Some might fairly point out that while it is quite cool looking, it doesn't have the highest of electric mileage per charge that certain other lower tier cars may have, but you have to think about the context of the vehicle itself. They are not going for any kind of world record range here. They know that those who would get this vehicle are not going to go across the country with it, but instead they may go and show it off and flash it around and make people jealous that they don't have a luxury car like this of their own. And the fact that a top brand like Rolls-Royce is doing this proves the continued shift in the car industry to try and make everything electric. And I'm sure that that makes a whole lot of people out there rather grateful. Number 18. Rolls-Royce Ghost. From the Rolls-Royce Spectre, we now transition to the Rolls-Royce Ghost. It seems as though the people at Rolls-Royce might believe in supernatural elements, or maybe they just like how the names of their vehicles sound. Regardless of the reasoning behind the names, the Rolls-Royce Ghost is one of the best Rolls-Royce vehicles that you can get on the market today, which is why it is also one of their most popular models. In fact, it has a CD rating of 9.5 out of 10, and you don't get that unless you make an incredible car. From tip to tail, this luxury limo exudes glamour and sophistication, which you could say are the hallmarks of the brand as a whole. Now, whether you're driving the Ghost or simply riding inside of it, you'll be treated to all kinds of great luxury and innovations. For example, the passengers are not going to feel the road as they go over it, and that allows them to have a smooth experience. Then for the driver, there are cameras attached to the ride to help ensure a safe traversal from one location to the next. It can even scan the road for things like potholes and then alert the car's suspension so that it can always perfectly be tuned to take them on. That is a skill of mechanical quality right there. Now, it is true that the Ghost is not an electric vehicle, but that's because all of those efforts went into the Spectre. However, over time, it would not be inconceivable for Rolls-Royce to change over to that, or possibly even go for the hybrid route with its next iteration. The only drawback? If you want to get one of the 2024 Rolls-Royce Ghosts, you'll need to have over $350,000. That begs the question, do you take a check? Give me two. Number 17. The Rolls-Royce Phantom. Now on to a Rolls-Royce that has another name of an apparition. This is the Rolls-Royce Phantom, easily one of their biggest and best models. And I would just like to emphasize the biggest part of that statement. Look at the car. It's simply huge. And if you are one of the ones who are fortunate enough to have this as your ride, well, you're going to be making everyone that you pass by turn their heads because of how honking big this thing is. There are some people out there who would even call it a testament to old money, mainly because it costs over $500,000 to get. But by that token, if you are able to afford it, you're going to be in for one heck of a ride and experience. Plush leather, handsome veneer, and beautifully hewn metal trim surround you in the capacious interior. Coach rear doors power themselves open and close regally at the touch of a button. And plus, since this is your Phantom to drive, you can have it customized to meet your needs in terms of color and other kinds of functionality. That also means that it will be a truly personal ride for those who have the money to spare. So really, that begs the obvious question. Do you actually need a ride like this in your life? Well, if you do have the money, then why not? It may sound rather elitist to say, but the reason that people with large cash flows would get a vehicle like this in the first place is because they want to experience the best of luxury vehicles that are out there. And the Rolls-Royce Phantom is one such vehicle that may offer them the feeling that they've made it. However, that's not the only Phantom menace that you can get if you have enough dough. Number 16. The Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe. When the tagline of a vehicle is "Roof Down Romance," well, you know the kind of person or people that Rolls-Royce is appealing to with their vehicle. The Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe is indeed a convertible version of the car that I just spoke about. The luxury car maker gives you the option to either enjoy the vehicle in its natural form and feel safe and comfy inside, or you can simply take things to the next level by dropping down the head and feeling wild and free with the wind in your hair while embracing the elements that are all around you. Plus, since it's a luxury vehicle, you'll also have all of the stylings and amenities that you could ever ask for. Features are handcrafted in the most finest of material: leather seats, teak veneers, and luxurious cashmere blend hood. Protecting you from adverse weather conditions, the 5-layer soft top provides excellent soundproofing while opening in just 25 seconds. And like the main model of the Phantom, you can get this ride customized to fit your artistic style so that you'll be complete as you take it down the road.
Monte Carlo, you have Drophead crate.
Rolls-Royce does boast that this ride begs for long weekends and vacations, and you can see why they would say that. They want people to see the vehicle as it goes down the road and no doubt make them long for having such a romantic rendezvous inside of it themselves. But you could also save your money because it costs a whole hell of a lot. Number 15. The Rolls-Royce Phantom Stretch Limo. In addition to the regular Phantom and the Coupe, there is also a limousine version. The Rolls-Royce Phantom Stretch Limo is one of their most high-end vehicles, and it's apparently incredibly popular. Your first question in this might be, well, why would someone want to own a luxury limo? The easiest answer is because they can. The second answer is that while many people do want to drive a luxury vehicle for themselves, a lot of people are just fine with hiring a driver and having them to chauffeur them and their party or whoever they're with to the location that they desire. When you look at the interior of this vehicle, you'll see that it is not only a limo, it's a high-end limo that's meant to both keep you comfortable and to keep you entertained. There are games inside of the thing, not to mention plenty of places to store all of the fine drinks for your excursion. In other words, if you're entertaining guests for a weekend, or you simply want to make a showing at a party that you're going to want to arrive in this big vehicle. Because in comparison, regular limousines are just not enough. Number 14. The Armored Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Some of you might be thrown off by that title, so allow me to explain. There is another side to luxury vehicles that you might not think about or even realize, depending on how knowledgeable you are about the world. Specifically for people of more high standing, like a member of the royal family or an elected official, driving around in a regular old Toyota Corolla is a no-go. It attracts attention, and if the wrong people know that you're the one who's in it, you could get attacked and potentially suffer really, really bad consequences. And that's where companies like Klassen come into play. They are a specialty company that takes vehicles, like the Rolls-Royce, and outfits them to be armored, bulletproof, bomb-proof, and all sorts of other kinds of proof to ensure that you and whoever else may be in there with you is kept safe and free from harm. The Armored Rolls-Royce Cullinan is just one option that you have for this kind of armor protection. The irony is that even though it's meant to be a driving tank, based on its protection, they still have all of the luxury things that you could imagine inside. So, to the untrained eye, it may just look like a regular old vehicle, but on the inside, it is a true luxury experience. And yes, not everyone will have a need for such an experience, but for those that are out there that do, they will never leave home without a vehicle such as this. And remember that limousine that I showed you? Well, Klassen was up for making an armored version of that as well. It just might cost you $3 million in the end. Number 13. Rolls-Royce Phantom Hyperion. The Rolls-Royce Phantom Hyperion is the last of the Phantom line that we'll talk about, and it does have some features that separate it from its brethren. First of all, it's a special one-of-a-kind vehicle. The Hyperion was not only an offshoot of the Phantom brand, but it was one that was given to a person who decided to take things back to a more simple time with its design, and the results end up speaking for themselves. So, what would be different about it, you may ask? Well, quite a bit if you have a closer look. A chopped two-seater Phantom with all new rear bodywork and a part Morgan, part Lancia-like posterior. A bespoke roof, of course, because why wouldn't it have that? And the irony of the ride is that while it may be stylish, it's also one that has trouble in finding an owner. That's because, at times, it can cost around $3 million, and you can get several luxury cars for that amount in the end. Number 12. The Rolls Royce Sweptail. But what's more outrageous than a single Rolls Royce being worth $3 million? Well, how about one that's worth $13 million? I am not joking in this. It is a true story about the infamous Rolls Royce Sweptail. The car was not actually manufactured to be part of a line of cars to be made, but rather it was made for one single client. This was part of Rolls-Royce's desire to get back to their coach build style of design that they had done in the earlier days of their run. In 2017, they had decided to do that and show just how far that they could go with this particular client. The client, who remains nameless, had asked for a lot of features from past Rolls-Royce vehicles and other car models, and the result became the Rolls-Royce Sweptail. To name all of the details that the car would make special would take too long, but I will say that it's a beautiful mixture of both vintage stylings with modern advances, and it also has high performance, incredible styling, and insane attention to detail, and the $13 million price tag that emphasizes that it's worth each and every cent. While it might be alright for you to have a luxury vehicle yourself one day, I don't recommend going down this route. I mean, vehicles lose their value as soon as they drive off the lot. Number 11. The Rolls-Royce Boat Tail. Following in the footsteps of the Sweptail, the Rolls-Royce Boat Tail is a luxury coach build division ride that is not only a perfect luxury car to drive, but one that you can actually dine in by the beach or another location that you desire. Are you confused? Well, if you look at the rear deck of the car, you're going to soon see that it can actually unfold to become a full-on dining area, complete with a place to put your umbrella to keep you in the shade while you dine with your friends or loved ones. It may be a completely outrageous concept, and yet the builder behind it said that it is the pinnacle of his career, and it's something that likely won't ever be duplicated. But you know, it's great that he admires his own work and all. Number 10. The Rolls-Royce Droptail. Heading into the top 10, we now have the Rolls-Royce Droptail, a car that the luxury maker is so absolutely proud of that they actually call it art in motion, because of course they do. They're trying to sell it to you after all. They actually compare this vehicle to a rose, and they also note how dark and daring that the vehicle is, and how it's meant to emphasize romance, and wow, they're really trying to sell the car. Now, I am not going to deny that it is a cool car for the record. The styling is impressive, and the roadster body type is one that many will be drawn to, and like others on this list, you can enjoy it either with the hood on or the hood off. Number 9. The Rolls-Royce Wraith. Our next ghostly guest is the Rolls-Royce Wraith, and I'll let you know right off the bat that this car comes in at a measly $600,000. So just be sure that you can afford it before you even think about buying it. This is yet another incredible luxury vehicle that Rolls-Royce can provide for you, and a lot of people have gotten on board with it to try and put on their own spin. That includes companies like Masonry, who want to show off their own incredible details inside of the car. You can style this car however you like, and then get ready for an incredible luxury experience as you go down the road and make everyone else jealous that you're in the vehicle and that they are not. I mean, come on. You can't sit there and think that they wouldn't do the same thing to you if the shoe was on the other foot. Number 8. Rolls-Royce Phantom Extended Wheelbase. The Rolls-Royce Phantom Extended Wheelbase is a really weird name for a luxury vehicle, but it's also one that's meant to take the standard model of the Phantom that I've already talked about and give it just a little bit more space. But would a little more space really matter all that much? Well, you have to think about the vehicle that you drive or that you've ridden in with friends. Don't you sometimes wish that it just had a little bit more room to stretch out your legs and unwind in? Well, luxury vehicle owners apparently have that same need, and that's where this one comes into play. Now, we may all have different bank account statements, but we all have the same needs at the same time. Number 7. Rolls-Royce Phantom Metropolitan Collection. With the Rolls-Royce Phantom Metropolitan Collection, it adds a touch of sophistication to the luxury car market. It's a limited edition model and part of the renowned Phantom line, featuring exquisite design elements that are inspired by the bustling metropolises of the world. The exterior of the car boasts a unique Selby gray metallic paint finish that's complemented by a hand-painted coach line that features an intricate motif representing the architecture of modern cities. And of course, because it's a Rolls-Royce, the interior exudes opulence. With leather upholstery in a seashell color scheme, accented by navy blue piping and stitching, the Starlight headliner adds a celestial ambiance to the cabin, depicting the night sky over a bustling cityscape. And even though the vehicle is part of the Phantom line, it was not meant to be a spin-off. Only 20 of these Phantoms were ever manufactured, and the point of them was not only to show luxury, but to also highlight the changing landscape of all of the metropolitan cities of the world today. It was crafted to reflect the cities that we all now live in, and in some people's minds, it's an example of a driving art exhibit. It's definitely for all of those customers who are seeking exclusivity and unparalleled craftsmanship. Number 6. The Rolls-Royce Phantom Serenity. Now we'll have a look at the Rolls-Royce Phantom Serenity, and unlike many of the more recent cars that you've seen, the Serenity is one that was unveiled in 2015 at the Geneva Motor Show. And while it may be an older car, it's also one that turns heads even to this day. On the outside, it may seem like just another Rolls-Royce, but they actually teamed up with a renowned artist to create an interior that screams opulence and wants the passengers to be in a true state of serenity. Chinese silk would be used to make this artistic interior, and when you mix that with all of the tiny touches on the outside that gives it a flowery look, well, you can see why people are still talking about this car. Number 5. Rolls-Royce Dawn Black Badge. When you have a look at the Rolls-Royce Dawn Black Badge, you may get a dark and brooding feeling, but the real beauty of this car is on the inside. The car is meant to be entirely soundproof from the outside, so you will definitely have a peaceful time as you're driving around in it. The Black Badge is put forward by a formidable 6.6-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine, delivering quite the driving experience. And with an impressive output of 593 horsepower and 620 foot-pounds of torque, the powerhouse accelerates from 0 to 60 in just 4.6 seconds. This rear-wheel drive 8-speed automatic transmission-fueled car ensures smooth and effortless acceleration, combined with a renowned engineering prowess and meticulous attention to detail that Rolls-Royce is known for. This is a car that people literally dream about, so if you're able to get one, you're going to be in rather special company. Number 4. The Rolls-Royce Corniche. Now how about a change of pace? Sometimes you have to take a step back before you can go forward. As noted, the Rolls-Royce brand has been around for a really long time now, and that also means that they've made all kinds of models and vehicles over the years. The Rolls-Royce Corniche was one that lasted from 1971 to 2002 in various forms and models, and it was a true classic that many still appreciate today. As time went on, the car got upgraded and restyled, and even would be used by Bentley for a while, as they had transformed it into a vehicle brand for themselves. It may not have all of the class and super luxury that today's vehicles feature, but it was one of the coolest vehicles you could get back in the day. Number 3. The Rolls-Royce Phantom Syntopia. The Rolls-Royce Phantom Syntopia comes painted in an exclusive liquid noir color with purple, blue, magenta, and gold accents, depending on the angle at which you're viewing it. They actually spent over 3,000 hours just to make sure that the lighting and the feeling was correct inside of the car. The Syntopia is a limited edition luxury vehicle which many feel exemplifies the pinnacle of automotive craftsmanship and innovation. Said to be inspired by the futuristic visions of urban landscapes, it features distinctive design elements that evoke a sense of modern times along with sophistication. With sleek lines and striking contours, along with its opulent interior, this exclusive model offers a truly unparalleled driving experience. And featuring a 6.75-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine, it delivers effortless performance and power delivery. Every single thing about this ride is meant to be high-end, sophisticated, and illuminating, and I think that they succeeded with that goal. Number 2. The Rolls Royce Phantom Coupe Aviator Collection. The Aviator Collection was meant to be a tribute to the days when the car company had helped to make airplanes for the British back during the Second World War. They made seaplanes, if you didn't know. The car is outfitted with special Art Deco touches in order to take people back to the 1930s, and many would agree that it is one stylish vehicle. Only 30 of them were ever manufactured, which made it yet another limited edition, collector's car kind of thing. But the company also wanted to pay tribute to its past while embracing the present and the future, and that's the kind of luxury design that a lot of people will drool over. Number 1. The Rolls Royce Silver Spirit. We began this list with the Silver Bullet, so now we end with the Silver Spirit. The Silver Spirit was a vehicle that was made from 1980 to 1997 and had a lot of features that you can see transferred into later models all throughout the years. Its size was rather impressive, meant to be long, luxurious, and comfortable for everyone who rode inside of it. Eventually, the Silver Spirit was meant to be built as a touring limousine, and you can very easily see why that would be something that people would be interested in. The car was the basis for a lot of vehicles that Rolls-Royce would come to produce later on in their manufacturing lines, including several that are on this list. So again, the company just loves to use its past in order to create a more bright and even more luxurious future. That's all from the realm of luxury vehicles via your good friends at Rolls-Royce. Were you impressed by the variety of luxury cars that they've created over the years and the various types of vehicles they've manufactured to satisfy their clients? If you had your choice in any of the vehicles on this list, which one would it be? Be sure to let me know all about it in the comments section down below. Check out the other cool things that are showing up on the screen, and I will see you next time.